Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come and say hello. Wish you a good day on this Monday. I hope this week will be breakthrough. There will be a great week for every morning. Spirit is announcing me some really great news, and so I wake up with all those great news. But since they've been announcing me for 10 years the same great news, at one point I return to my certain patterns, and so it's very delicate. So I have to embrace that potential, that possibility that something will surprise me today. For it will be a surprise when it comes. To be honest. Well, it is hard to break patterns, and it is we want to do that. We want to break patterns. We want to break free from whatever old cycle in order to move into the state of freedom and abundance. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Angel Tarot to see what see what our chakras are aligned with, and so our chakras are energetic systems that are aligned on vertical axis in the physical body. They will be known by science, already known in Western Eastern civilization, but they're not really well known in the West. And so, but they are essential. We have 550 centers of energy, chakras within the physical and the astral body that are unactivated, and we have actually 12 major systems of chakras that are like the thymus and the well of dream and all kinds of minor chakras, not minors, but they're that are. I will not be read in this reading, but I'm going to read the 7 major chakras. On the bottom, the root is given by Pluto. It's where the base of our wheel is. It's where all the challenges are. And here we have equilibrium. So if we find balance in the root chakras, that will determine our wheel. That will focus our will. What we have in the navel chakras, the navel of harmonization, is the chakra of sexuality. It's on the sacral chakra, and here we have listening. So we are able to. It's governed by the astral body and by Saturn, and here we are able to listen what life is teaching us. For life is always in the highest good of all, always gearing us towards our destiny. It's just the mental process. We have to escape the labyrinth of the mind. What we have in the solar plexus, which is the third creative chakra, the heart chakra is neutral, and the 3 higher chakras are receptive. So this heart chakra is governed by Jupiter. Well, this is the solar plexus. Sorry, the solar plexus is governed by Jupiter. It's our power center. And so here we have serenity. So we are able to find this serenity to move into the state where we can be in the present without having this projection forwards, backwards. We can be in the now. What we have in the heart chakra, that is neutral, that is governed by the sun. And here we have generosity. It's good that our heart be generous. That there is only one thing that's acceptable in the heart is love. For love has to be the beginning and the end of the heart. They have put fear into our heart so to prevent us from discovering this great love. But as we open our heart, we live in our heart, then we are being guided by the voice of the heart. This is the highest guide. This is where the soul resides, and in the upper heart is where the I am presence. And so we move into the 5th chakra that's governed by Chiron. Chiron makes the sacrifice to heal all the physical and mental and emotional bodies. And so it is a communication chakra. It's also what comes in and out of the body. And it is shared by with our I am presence in the sacred heart. And so here we have protection. We are being protected. Our destiny is being protected, so you can relax. We can relax and align. Then what we see in our 6th chakra, which is one of the essential chakras, 6 and 7 chakras are very, very important because they open us to the higher realm. And here this chakra is governed by Neptune. It is the realm of dream and possibilities. And here we have a learning, apprentissage. It's a study. We are learning. We are being initiated each and every day. We are being guided, initiated, learn something every day. Every day we can reassess and realign to whatever life is teaching us in this one day. And then the crown chakra is governed by Uranus. It is the opening to the higher level of intuition. And here we have intuition. So it's about we're going to be learning to open to those higher realm of intuition. What comes from the Earth chakra, the Earth, the Great Mother Earth, for there is we are connected to a great sun at the center of the planet in the 5th dimension. That is a pink sun, and we can send our thought there to anchor it, and then it returns to us, and then we send it to the great central sun above. And here we have luck. So there is Mother Earth was preparing some wonderful things for us. So we are in appreciation to the possibility of having some lucky event that happens within our life. And on the crown chakra, the soul star, which is a star that's on above, originally when we first came here, when 12th dimension, our soul was completely filling up every chakras, every part of our consciousness. But as we descend from 12 to 11 to 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6, eventually we come into the Atlantean time, into the 5th dimension and 4th dimension, and eventually the fall of Atlantis. Then we became cavemen, and we had to relearn everything. We was completely disconnected from our soul. So we became third dimensional being. Then our soul had to retreat into this higher this higher star chakra. It's a silver star, and we want to bring down this energy to become our soul. And here we have doubt. So there is the soul is allowing us to doubt, but we want to move outside of doubt. For doubt is a dead center, and then we will be able to make this assess. The cheminement, it's an assess. We will be able to assess to create this ascension into the realm of light. Well, I hope this resonated with you. I'm just interpreting it as it comes, and those ideas I'm sharing with you, I hope they're meaningful. They are revealing of a higher truth, yet it's not really so common in society. Most people will not accept those just yet. It's not acceptable to believe that we are eternal beings. For the inner child, the inner self it never grows old. It's an eternal self. It's just the physical body that is aging, because we are connected to system of beliefs and agendas and calendars and time, and so the cells are not being regenerated. Eventually, when you go to sleep at night, you can ask to be sent into the starships to move into the regeneration chamber, so you can regenerate all your cells. When you come back in the morning, you feel regenerated, or to the inner planes of the earth. And there are many techniques also to regenerate our cellular physical body, to stay young as much as possible, to live outside of time. When we live outside of time, the cells are not being affected in the same way as when we're constantly living in time, looking at our watch and clocks and calendars and celebrating birthdays. So we live in the now, we forget all that, we forget time, and then our cellular body will be elevated. For this is an illusion of the third dimension. Always has been. We can never be something else. For people believe it very strongly. But it's just the physical body that's a vehicle. It was meant to live a lot longer than what we're living now, because we have. But when we die in third dimension, we are always reborn in the fourth dimension, and then we pass our life in review. We do a vacation. We reconnect with our soul twins. We have spiritual family, all the people that we loved on the earth. We do all that, and then eventually we fulfill that, and we choose to return to be dead into the fourth dimension and to be reborn into the third. Once we live in the third dimension and realize the fifth dimension, the eternal point of connection, then we are free from samsara. We move into the nirvana. We become eternal beings. We lose the necessity of reincarnation. We have completed the cycle. So it is important to already connect to your higher self, to your eternal self. For right now, we are thinking that we are physical beings that sometimes are able, through our meditation and dream, to visit the higher planes. But soon we'll be able to recognize and realize that we are eternal beings that are visiting this dimension of physicality. The Earth used to be a straight planet, and right now it's after the fall of Atlantis it tipped, and so there is this angle, but right now it is getting straight up, and so it's creating all kinds of change in the climate. For the conscious planet will be straight up. Also wanted to talk about something that is that we can never perceive a level of reality that's beyond our consciousness. When you realize something of the higher plane, is because your consciousness is ready to integrate it. So it is also for protection, for all those in the higher planes are being protected from those in the lower plane that are not ready to move into those planes. But it's also your inner realization, your spiritual connection is being also protected from other people that are not ready to see it. once two people are ready to see the same reality of the higher planes, they can actually see each other's reality. For all the great powers of transcendental vision and lucidity, like the Buddha discovered, it's because his level of consciousness allowed him to see the cause and effect of all beings, their level of wisdom, where they've been, where they're going, to know the Akash of all. But before we can realize that, we need to have enough maturity not to use that in any form of shape that could be negative to anybody else or to ourselves. So there's a great deal of protection there. The same thing is with the violet fire. There is a great deal of protection that's been put around it with unconditional love. It is the highest level of divine fire that we can use on the third dimensional plane, but it can only be used by those who have unconditional love in their heart, because otherwise, since the fall of Atlantis, there's been some protection and that have been put around all the sacred fires, because otherwise it could be used negatively. But so it's only can be activated when we're ready for that, when we are. But it's something that we need to learn and use. It's the most powerful, the power of transmutation. Because originally we were living in the kingdom of God. We were living in this eternal place where all things are divinely ordered, and everything we created were divinely organized. But then God has told us that we needed to, for our growth and evolution, to go and have this experience of the samsara, and to go and create outside of the kingdom of God. So we came down here and we had hundreds of life, and we created, but now we are like, originally it was a great gift, but now we realize it wasn't that great of a gift, because we created outside of the law. Therefore there is this cause and effect things, and we're asking God to realign us, to rebalance all of that. We can let go of all that so we can return into this kingdom, return into the divine order. For this freedom that God gave us, now we have to assume our creation, and it's not always easy because we've created unconsciously. We have to repeat to ourselves, I am that I am. I love my life. I love who I am. I love what I am. I love where I am. And I love all that I am. You got to repeat that to yourself until it feels right. So it's not easy, because there are certain things that are not... but your God self love you infinitely, no matter what. It's the Christ loves you infinitely. All the great master, the ascended master, they love you. All the angels love you. So it's just a matter of loving ourselves, to be selfish in that sense, to take care of ourselves first, to assume that love for ourselves, and to love all of creation, for God loves all creation. To let go of the idea of being perfect, and yet trying to work on this, working on ourselves in this, to perfect ourselves. For we are, as all consciousness is created as an extension of the source, the great God of all creation. But our conscious mind is a gift from the local universe, Mother Spirit. It's something that has been worked out for mortal beings to have this kind of local, this temporal mind. Personality is a gift from the universal Father in person. God is the first person, and it's created as a person. So as persons we can communicate with other persons. There are spirit beings in the universe that are not personal, but as person we cannot communicate with beings that are not personal, only super personal beings. We can communicate with pre-personal beings such as the I Am Presence, but they are absolute beings. We have to already have achieved a certain level of integration before we can communicate, and super-personal beings are very, very difficult to even envision those super-personal beings. And the physical body that we embody are the creation of the Elohim, but they're part of the earth, they're creation of the earth, they belong to the earth, so we are connected both to heaven and the earth, so we have to make this reconnection, this unity consciousness between all those aspects of ourselves. Our 3D mind is an operating system. Is an operating system that's like a computer. The physical body is a computer, and then we have this software that makes the body function. And so now we're moving into the fifth dimensional perception system. This is a new software, because the 3D operating system has been infected by a virus called fear, and it's corrupting all the file. It's mixing up all the file. We cannot access the information as we want. So we want to get rid of this this software in order to be upgraded. So when we move into, we realize certain aspect of our consciousness in the higher plane, this state of joy, be joy or enlightenment. We want to be able to do to save the file, because if you write on a document and then you add something else, but you forget to save it and you turn off your computer, then it won't be your return to the old program. So whenever you realize something that is really important, that you feel is really connected to your soul and spirit, ask to be that this be really integrated within your programming. Because when we came down here, we chose to shut out all the 90% of our brain function and 93% of our DNA, which is the software. So we want to reactivate, to allow the source to reactivate slowly but surely all of those brain function and this DNA. It's not easy to live in this 3D matrix, but slowly but surely, once we reintegrate the higher function of the human body, it will get easier. So you have to do not judge yourself, just breathe. You use oxygen to positive the body. Soon this show, it's only a show that we live here, that we come to live here. It's a stage, and it's the last. Is the final step in this great scenario. The scenario will be played. Every actor is playing their role. Essentially, it's the last 3D life that we came to live here. So even the Earth will no longer be producing this 3D 4D reality for very long. She's tired, she's done with that. She's going to move into a fifth dimensional world, and she's already there. It's already available. As we tune in, we align, we can already move into this fifth dimensional Earth matrix. But soon there's going to be this final event stage. There's going to be the final judgment in sorts. It's this revelation. And then the dark ones will be removed, whether it's from the astral plane or the physical plane, and then it will get easier for everybody. Even those who do not choose the ascension will have a much easier life, or there will be this because there is a great deal of light that is coming, higher light that is coming from the universe and the galaxy, and the other star nation and so on, and even new spirit groups that are sending this divine light and photonic new photons and so on. But there is also all the dark ones are seeing that they're losing the game. They have lost the game. They do not know that yet, but they're completely lost. They've been told, but they don't believe it. And so they have asked for reinforcement from all kinds of darker parts of the galaxy. So the fear is being increased. The problem is the mass population is not aware of the higher light, and so they're just still working with this fear program. And so we want to let go of all fear. It's important to let go of all fear. So I'm going to pull a few cards from the Akash. The paintings behind me is called Blue Star Friends and Family. It's a very cosmic painting. I really love it. It's got a lot of personality, a lot of energy that comes out of it. For me, a painting is the image is important, the artist is important, but it's the vibration around it. What's the aura of the painting? And this is a portrait of a young girl that I'm trying to align with. I'm realizing there is so many veils around me. The veil in my destiny has been veiled. My relationship has been veiled, and so I have to work with that. I have to accept the fact that when I'm ready, the veil will fall. For art is very powerful. It is something that we have to use, whether it is contemplating a painting or listening to a song, because it allows us to travel, it allows us to move into positive feeling, it allows us to move out of the mind, and so to utilize art to travel in your mind. The highest wisdom for us today is health. So we want to move into this state of health, take care of our physical body as much as possible, to get a diet that is lighter. Maybe it's slowly but surely. We cannot do it all at once. What we need to understand is the vessels. There is a great deal of adventure that is right before us. We just gotta hold on long enough till it can manifest in the physical plane. What we need to do is romantic life. We were tuned in to be open to love, and for once we are open to love, we meet other people that are open to love, and love happens. There is this great. It's not about manipulating into seduction. It is something natural. For seduction, there is a great deal of manipulative. it's part of the game also. So it's just, but it's about being open to love, being open to romance, and the outcome is growth. It's about being growing. It's about like being the trees. Yes, the trees, and so to be anchored in the earth and to continue expansion into the sky. We have to understand that there is no sin, there is no evil, there is no world. There is just God, the love of God. And once we realize that, we can let go and let God. And for what we believe becomes real, and it's just our mental body is really anchored into these beliefs. So I wanted to. I'm going to keep certain ideas that I wanted to discuss about the physical world, about the world of the earth. But I will keep it for tomorrow, not to make this video too long. I'm going to finish with a little song. It's about somebody that's being followed by a moon shadow. So it's like this illusion that keeps on coming, and it's like, so we wanna breathe and let go as much as possible. It goes like this. Oh, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, yes, if I ever lose my hands, oh ho 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 ho, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, oh ho 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 ho, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my leg, oh ho 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 ho, I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouse, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouse, oh ho 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 ho, I won't have to talk. Did you take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Did you take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I am being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Beautiful song by a very inspired author, Cat Stevens, wonderful, divinely inspired. All his music is really, even his new work is really, really interesting. I like all that he is doing, and so really it's about being all light, to forget all of the shadows, to be free from all that. Well, I hope this video was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.